I guess we should just go ahead and start off with this, Patrick, because you went to the Masters. Everybody else is jealous. It's your second year in a row, your fourth time overall. You brought me back some goodies, so I'm showing it off. Oh, there's the gnome.
The little gnome. Okay.
Fantastic. So before we get to the rest of this, before we get into it, we do have a great guest hanging on. But right off the top here, man, what was it like?
Oh man, it was awesome. It was everything it lives up to and more. A little chaotic this year. This year felt a little more crowded, a little more chaos. But it was great. I mean, still just the absolute most perfect weather you could possibly imagine. I wore a hoodie with a polo underneath and never got hot. What a concept. Uh, and got to see Rory and everybody. And Rory made a big birdie on 15 right in front of us, and my wife like fell in love. It was amazing. She was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great!" And I'm like, "Yeah, you get it, you get it." Somebody like that makes a
Oh
birdie
yeah.
in front of you.
Since
It's
your
just
wife
like,
went, my wife now is like, when we're going, I'm like, I mean, you just can't just go, you know. So,
get on those tickets,
anyway,
Jason. Get on those
yeah.
tickets.
Well, hey, we'll get into more of that as we go along, but we do
Yeah,
have a
we'll do it.
fantastic guest, so let's go ahead and get this puppy rolling. Let's get to the show. Welcome to the Top Talk. Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to another episode of To the Top Talk, brought to you by Yingling Flight. To the Top Talk is the original and longest-running Southern Miss podcast on the market. We're recording this episode on Pilo
Tuesday, April 14th.
from beautiful Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Here, as always, with your break from the high resource for propaganda to talk a little Southern Miss athletics. I am your host, Jason Bailey, and that guy right there is, of course, Patrick Lowry.
Hey, I'm back.
Love it.
I
We're going to
am
hear
back.
all about it. Hope your legs are sore and hope, you stubbed your toe on the way out. I'm just kidding. Today's episode is brought to you by Yingling Flight. Yingling Flight is a premium light beer brewed by DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, the oldest brewery in America. 95 calories, only 2.6 grams of carbs, 4.2% ABV per 12-ounce serving, crisp, clean, refreshing taste, now available in 12-ounce slim cans and screw-top 16-ounce pints. Pick yourself up some Yingling Flight today. And don't forget by the end of this show to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. That helps us out a ton.
Yes, please. We don't have enough of y'all. We have the listens have been great. But you got to subscribe. Come on, let's get there.
Do it. So since the last time we recorded, what happened? Well, Patrick went to the Masters. Baseball team went to Lafayette. So softball kept it rolling over at Blade, and the men's golf team is currently still up in North Mississippi at the Mossy Oak. But most importantly, we booked a fantastic guest. This guy is sitting backstage right now. He led Conference USA in hitting back in the day. He's third team All-American. At the time, was single season leader in hits with 106 at Southern Miss. He hit 408 in 1999. He is a cancer survivor and a proud father of three that now lives in Madison, Mississippi. He's a good person, a good buddy, good ball player, and a great Golden Eagle. Welcome to the show, Michael Artman.
What's up, guys? Glad to be
What's up,
here.
man? Well, it looks like you're at the ball field. Shocker.
I am with three boys. We don't leave the ball field, so we're at a late Tuesday night practice here in Ridgeland tonight. So my 11-year-old.
Well, I hope it's going better than the Golden Eagles are looking over at is it still called Trustmark?
I think it is
Just
possibly. I don't
Mud
know. I know
Monsters
that
Stadium or
the
something?
Mud Cats, right?
Mud
Or Mud
something.
Monsters, yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, hey, dude, it's great to catch up. I saw you at a baseball tournament, a couple weeks ago,
That's right.
and it was kind of fun, but we're back in the old stomping grounds up around Jackson. But first off, man, I mean, how are you? How is the fam? And how is everything going up in Madison?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for asking. So, great. I can't complain. So, like you said earlier, proud father of three boys. I have a eighth grader that just turned 14. I have a fifth grader that's 11, and I have a first grader that's 7. And so, as you can imagine, all boys, and so they all play sports, and we're
Hmm.
constantly on the baseball field, basketball court, soccer fields. My oldest runs track, and he goes to private school here in Madison, and he's on the JV and the high school track team. He runs long distance. He runs the 1 mile and 2 miles. So he's constantly running about 25, 30 miles a week right now in eighth grade. It's kind of amazes me. But saying that, we're busy, right? I work for Pfizer. I've been with Pfizer for 22 years now, almost right out of school, out of Southern Miss. And my job, I'm a key account director. So I cover 3 states: Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. And I call on the top cancer centers in those 3 states. And my job now is to help identify cancer patients and work on quality projects with cancer accounts and physicians to help identify patients a lot earlier in their diagnosis. And so I'm more above brand now, not really in sales, but I help grow the market to help our sales team find more patients. But saying that, for me, like you mentioned earlier, being a cancer survivor, being able to help the cancer community, and for my job, it's really something that's very special for me, and something that I don't take for granted. And I wake up every morning, can't wait to go to work because I know that I'm making a difference.
That is fantastic. And I should have mentioned this in the open, but you're really fast, like one of the fastest players that I've ever been around, and I never saw on the baseball field. And then you mentioned that your kids running track and all that. So I mean, I guess they have the speed. Like, where did all that? Is everybody fast in your family? Like,
Well, they've got some speed, but one thing I didn't do, Bump, was I was very good at long distance. We had that mile, right, to go back to practice, and I could blow that 1 mile up, but after that, I was done. My kids are all long distance runners. Even my 7-year-old ran a 5K in January at 7, and he ran it like in like 20 minutes. It's unbelievable. Like they
mhm.
had the lung capacity, which is really kind of funny because when I had cancer, I had cancer in my lungs, and so these guys, their lung capacity is unbelievable. I don't know, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? And so
Yeah.
but they're long distance people. They can just go and go, like I guess the Energizer Bunny, I guess. He just keep going and going. But I was more of a, like you said, I was more of a base to base type like runner.
No doubt.
For sure. So you went to Hines Community College out of high school. Take us back to that time in your life and kind of what role baseball held for you then.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a long time ago. I gotta think about this, right? I'm getting old.
You're
Rewind.
No,
definitely getting old.
so yeah, you're right. So in high school, I had one of those late birthdays, August, and so I was 17 when I graduated. Now that's unheard of, right? You get held back, but I pushed through back then. So I was not mature, right? I wasn't ready. My body wasn't physically mature as a senior in high school. So I only had one offer, and it's Hines Community College. In that year, my body did transform a lot. I really, I think I got stronger. Had a decent year, and then that summer is when I really started hitting weights and played in a summer league. And that's when I was playing in Memphis in around July 4th tournament. And it was like 100 degrees outside. It was so hot, I was like pouring water in my cleats because my cleats were melting, I felt like. Um, and anyway, Scott Berry was in the stands watching that tournament because it's a prospect tournament. And I was playing second base, and I was backing up every throw. I was, like Bump was saying, I was beating out every ball I hit to the infield. After the game, he was like, "Look, Michael," he said, "I need you on our team. If you can do that out here, you're going to bring something special to our team that we need." And he offered me a scholarship, and by that, I didn't know Scott Berry was in the stands. That's just how I played, right?
Hmm.
That's how I grew up. That's being from South Jackson. We fought for everything, and so that was it. And so he's like, "I need that," and so he offered me a scholarship, and I transferred from Hines and went to Meridian and played for Scott Berry. And then my game just changed. He taught me so much about the sport, how to play it. He taught me how to hit the ball the other way, and that's kind of led me to Southern Miss because I know that Coach Barry and Coach Palmer, they were good buddies, and It was a good fit for me at Meridian with him. I was like, I knew it was gonna be a good fit to go to Southern Miss, and so that's kind of how I ended up. And I think it was just kind of by luck in a lot of ways. But I try to tell my kids that I coach, like, you never know who's watching you out there. And I'm a prime example of that. You know, just right place at the right time, but I hustled, and that sometimes do the right things work out for you.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talk these days about approaches at the plate, especially on Twitter. There's a lot of experts out there. What was your approach? Like when you got on the field, like that made you successful? Were
Yeah.
you a get deep in the count guy? Were you hit it up the middle guy? What do you remember? Did it change? I guess from pitcher to pitcher, but overall, what was your idea of trying to be successful at the
Yeah.
plate?
First, let me say this: hitting a baseball is very, very difficult. And if you make it too complicated, it makes it even more difficult. Um, I really feel like I became a good hitter, and this sounds might be kind of different. I became a good hitter is when I could take a inside pitch and wear it.
Hmm.
I set a school record at Meridian by hit by pitches. And I also set a school record my junior year at Southern hit by pitches. And the reason why I say that is because I knew that if I could stay in the box for the longest time, I'd have a better opportunity. And it transferred to me, like you said, like it's hitting a baseball is very difficult. But if you let the pitcher win, it's even more difficult. And so I was never
For
intimidated by a
sure.
pitcher. Never intimidated. I got into the box thinking I was better than that pitcher. If you have any doubts, you're not going to win that at bat, right? And I felt
Yeah,
like I was going to win every single at bat. And and I was a little different kind of a hitter. You don't see this very often, but I was a take till I got one strike at least. But I did aggressive takes. Like my whole approach was, I'm not just taking a strike. I'm going up in the batter's box and I'm being aggressive. You know why? Because I'm figuring out where that pocket, his arm slot, I'm figuring out my timing. And so if I get up there and swing the first pitch, I have no timing. I don't even know his arm slot. I'm learning. I'm watching the pitcher. I'm analyzing the pitcher. And I was more comfortable, believe it or not, sometimes with two strikes than I was with a 0-0 count
Yeah.
because I had him timed up. And a lot of that had to do was I know that if you look at stats, that when you look at somebody that's doing a hit and run, where a hitter knows he has to swing the bat,
hmm
his batting average is a lot higher than it is, in other situations. Well, two strikes, I knew if it was close, I had to swing. And so I I played a lot of wiffle ball growing up. I could hit a ball 5 feet over my head. I could hit a ball bouncing a couple of times where it got to me. It
yeah.
didn't matter. I was very confident that if it was close, my time was there and I was a good hitter. So you mentioned earlier I had 106 hits my junior year. Did you know I think 89 of those were two strikes?
Wow.
And
That's
that's what
awesome.
that's when I say what's the most impressive stat I think I ever had at Southern Miss is my two strike hits. Is that almost every hit I had was with two strikes, and I was a leadoff batter because I was not intimidated by a pitcher even with two strikes.
That's
So
awesome.
that's kind of my philosophy. But again, it comes back to taking pitches and being able to stay in the box and not bailing out an inside fastball or a curveball and getting hit by a pitch and just being a tough hitter, tough out.
I tell you what, a lot of times after these shows, I will clip certain sections and we put them out on social just as a teaser or to get people to come listen. I'm going to clip this, Pilo, and it's going directly to my 9U Generals team
Yeah.
tomorrow night. I'll be
It's
like,
great
hey,
advice.
listen to this guy right here. Now, that's fantastic. And still, the passion's still there, right? So,
Oh, I coach 7-year-old baseball, so I'm the pitcher. So
yeah,
I got to keep the passion, right?
yeah, no
So,
doubt.
talking about your time at Southern Miss, you played for the great Corky Palmer. Talk about Coach for a minute, and what was he
Yeah,
like, and what did he
yeah,
teach you?
yeah. I miss that guy so much. He taught me a lot. He really did. And I never met a guy that he loved to win, but he really hated to lose more than he liked to win.
Yeah.
He did not like to lose, and we got along, because I don't like to lose either. I don't see losing as an option. right? In anything in life. And so, as long as you give a fair fight, you're going to probably come out top. You might not win, but you're going to be. It's going to be a fair fight. It's going to be. You're going to be successful. But saying that, Coach Palmer, he was that way. He was the ultimate competitor. Um, he 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 was tough. You know, not everybody could play for him because he required you to be your best at all times. And there was no taking off, right? No slacking. If you slacked, he felt like that was, bring the team down. And so we got along because that's how I was. Like it was just a hustle mentality, a winning mentality, a positive attitude mentality that I'm better than that other person mentality. Um, and a quick story about him. So when he was in the nursing home in Collins, I went to go see him. It's been probably a couple of years since I've seen him, and that was like I think during COVID. And I walk in there, I had a mask on my face, and he was in the bed, and he just looked up and he said, "Art, Art, is that you, Art?" And like just knew it was me, you know. And so like even with the mask on, you know, and I was like, "Yeah, it's me, Coach." And so and like we had the incredible about 45-minute conversation about
That's great.
life and about baseball. And I tell you, Coach Palmer didn't talk about life very much. It was baseball. Like I didn't go to him and talk about my grades. I didn't go and talk about my girlfriend. I would talk to him about baseball because that was him. He was all baseball. And so if I need to talk about my grades or my girlfriend, I go to Coach Barry, right? But baseball, it was Coach Palmer, and we talked baseball for 45 minutes, and it was a great memory that I will cherish the rest of my life.
No, it's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I did want to dive into this if it's okay. Can we talk about the cancer diagnosis and the journey
Sure.
that you
Yeah.
went through throughout that? So just right off the bat, I mean, when did you realize that something wasn't right?
Oh man, it's believe it or not, it was actually this time in 1999. We were playing Ole Miss in Jackson in April of '99, and I was coming back and went to the restroom, and I felt something on my left testicle, and I was like, man, that's kind of odd. And it felt like a end of a eraser or like a small P on the left side of
Hmm.
my testicle, and didn't hurt, didn't bother me. I just could feel it in there. It's like almost like I was like, man, what is that? That's weird. And I just kind of blew it off. And that was I remember that was the Ole Miss game because it was in Jackson. We just beat Ole Miss, and that's how I remember it so well. And and I didn't do anything about it. Went off and played in a wooden bat league in Missouri, and had just a really good year. I led the whole wooden bat league in hitting that year. But toward the end of the season, I started having things in my chest pop up
Hmm.
and behind my nipple. I could feel it. You know, when you get sick, you have a lymph node in your neck that swells up sometimes. That's
Sure.
what it felt like in my chest. And then another one popped up on the other side of my chest. I was like, oh, something is not right here. And I was really getting fatigued. And so we had about a week break before we played in the World Series in Wichita, Kansas. So I drove home, and I barely made it home. And when I made it home, I was like, man, something's wrong with my chest. And so I looked in the phone book and saw a advertisement for internal medicine disease of the chest. I was like, that's a guy I need to go see. So made my own appointment, and they said, look, we have an opening tomorrow morning. Come on in at 9 o'clock. I was like,
Hmm.
great. Come to find out, they were booked out for like 4 months solid. They just had a cancellation that morning, and I
Wow.
called at the right time. So anyway, and that's kind of kind of been my life. It's just been the right place at the right time, I think. Um, but saying that, so went there, and then like the doctor examined me and said, look, you're fatigued, you are dehydrated, playing that hot sun, your hormones are out of whack. And he said, look, go back up there to Missouri and play in Wichita, Kansas, and play, and come back after that, and we'll see how you're doing. Before he left, he did some blood work on me, which saved my life. And I've been in the drug business for 22 years, and I've asked doctors this question, my symptoms and all that. Would you have done this blood work? And I haven't had one doctor say he would have done a blood work on me on this. He just
Hmm.
happened to run a beta HCG test, which in a normal male, it's 0 to 1. In a female, if it's elevated, it means they're pregnant. Well, mine was 130,000. And the
Jeez.
doctor's office called me back that same day and said, look, I want you to come back tomorrow morning to see this endocrinologist. And brought my parents in at that time, and the endocrinologist sat me down. He said, look, you came back, your tumor markers were high, and we think it's possibly a tumor somewhere. So he examined me and found that left testicle that I've known about since April of that year. This was July. He looked at me in the eyes and said, "You have cancer. You have testicular cancer." And then he said, "We're having you emergency surgery today at 2:30 because it was so aggressive. The numbers were so high." So we ended up having surgery and removing that testicle and that tumor. They did another beta HCG and it risen to 156,000. So they knew it had spread somewhere else. And so my dad was like, "Look, we're going to MD Anderson." And they're like, "No, give me 30 minutes." My oncologist came back and said, "Look, I got you an appointment with Dr. Einhorn in Indianapolis, Indiana, and for next Tuesday." And so we got on a flight. On the way up there, I was reading a Sports Illustrated, and Lance Armstrong just won his first Tour de France.
Oh yeah.
In that article, he said, "I want to thank my doctor, Lawrence Einhorn, for helping me through this." And I was like, "Well, I'm going to the right place now, so that's good. I'm going to the right place." And so, kind of find out that I had metastatic testicular cancer. With my tumor markers being so high, I was poor risk, poor prognosis, because it's in a major organ. And I had about 10 nodules about sizes of nickels and dimes all in my lungs, like it was snowing on x-rays in my lungs. um, and so at that point, it's chemo, and if chemo doesn't work, it's not a good prognosis, right? And so I took the most grueling chemo that you could get. My doctor told me a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 10, and I've been selling chemo for 15 years now, so I know this regimen is very strong, but it works very well. And it went through 4 rounds of it, and I had a major surgery where they had to come back and cut me from my top of my sternum all the way down and opened me up like gutting a deer and took out my insides and took away a tumor from my backbone and put everything else back in me and stapled me 70 times. And then went home. And then after that tumor came back, it came back benign. The cancer had killed it. They said I was cancer free in November of 1999. And so that's kind of a short version of everything, but it's
Wow.
really a crazy story. It really is. From being on top of the mountain, where being an All-American, like you said, to find out the words that you never want to hear, that you have cancer. But
Mm-hmm.
those words, "you have cancer," I heard at an early age, and that changed my life. I'm a better person. I'm a better father. I'm a better son, a better husband, because I had a life-changing experience at an early age that I wouldn't wish on anybody, but I kind of wish people could experience it, because every birthday, every holiday, every day is that much more special for me, because I didn't know if I had another one. So
Yeah.
I was 20 years old, and I was 5 days
Jeez.
for my 21st birthday that I got diagnosed with cancer. And so it's a pretty amazing story. It's in again having 3 little boys after this. It's just been really lucky, honestly. I've been very, very blessed, and I don't take that for granted any day of the week.
Wow. I mean, it's powerful stuff, man. I really appreciate you sharing that. I mean, because someone out there right now it might be in one of these battles or might feel something
That's
that
right.
they're like, that's strange, right? So I guess
Well,
is
bump,
there anything?
this is the
Yeah.
deal. The
Uh huh.
bump, honestly, your body is going to talk to you. The body was talking to me back in April that year that like, something was going on. I just wasn't listening. I was blowing it off. Again, as men, as young men, oh, we're invincible, right? Look, we have to listen to our bodies. Our bodies are talking to us. And I know about cancer. The earlier you catch cancer, the better outcomes you're going to have. I work in the prostate cancer space, in the breast cancer space, colorectal cancer space, the screening space. Screening for these cancers is so important. Um, Having colonoscopies, when you're 45, having a PSA test for prostate when you're 45 earlier, even though it's early, do it. Pay the extra money to have it. Because if you can catch cancer early, there's so much you can do. The problem
Hmm.
is when you wait too late, that's when there's problems. And so I stress that to everyone. Listen to your body. Don't be ashamed of it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Listen to it and go get those screenings. It's so important.
Absolutely. Wow. I mean, such good stuff there. You should hear our normal shows. We never get this in depth. It's like why can't we hit? So but
We have
yeah.
those conversations all the time too, man. Don't worry. So,
But Pilo, I tell you what, since he's at practice, let's go ahead and let's get so Art. This is a part of the show that we call it the quick hitters segment. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
game show a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll play some funny music. You might hear some funny questions. I don't know. And we'll get you out of here in the next few minutes if that's cool.
That's awesome. No
All
problem.
right, Pilo, hit the music and let's get right into it. And I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go first. Yeah. So the favorite ballpark you ever played in?
Oh, Pete Taylor Park. I have a picture on my wall of my house right now. I love it.
Toughest pitcher that you ever faced?
Oh, Will Ainsworth. Faced him in the Superdome, LSU, in the Winn-Dixie Classic in 1999. He took me out on 3 pitches, took the whole lineup out. He had like 11 Ks that game. But I did get a triple off him off the wall in the Superdome, my second at bat. But I'll say this, he hung a slider, thank God. But he ended up pitching the big leagues for the Giants, and actually he was the CEO of Marucci Bats for a long time too.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
So what was your walk-up song back in the day, and what would it be now?
Back in the day, it was Machine Head by Bush. That intro, if I hear it today, I feel like my hairs on my arms like come off, and so I love it. And the crazy thing is, that song came out in 1996, and my 8-year-old and my 11-year-old and my 14-year-old still use it as their walk-up song as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so my new song probably would just be like some slow country music, right? I don't know. A country boy can't survive, probably. I don't know.
There we go. Nice.
Best clubhouse teammate
Best clubhouse
or the
teammate.
funniest?
Without a doubt, the Quincy Scott. DQ and I, we roomed together on road trips a lot. And that guy, I walk in, he was sitting in his bed reading his Bible at night. Unbelievable character guy, unbelievable power. Hit a ball 500 feet, right? And just a character guy. When I got diagnosed with cancer, he was one of the first guys on my teammates that called me and saying, like, I'm praying for you, buddy. You got this, man. So DQ is way up there on the list for me. So what was the other question? I'm sorry.
The
Who's
funniest.
the funniest? Yeah.
Funniest. Oh, man. It's probably going to have to be, I hate to say it, but Chad Rogers. The guy can impersonate anybody. He did an impersonation one time of Kirk Gibson. It was a rain delay, we're playing Alabama, and the tarp was on the field, rain delay. He gets on there in front of everybody and does the Kirk Gibson home run reenactment in front of everybody. So I'm like, only Chad Rogers could do that.
One word to describe your Southern Miss experience.
Life-changing. Is that one word? No, that's not one word.
That's a hyphenated word.
That's
We're good.
a hyphenated word.
Mhm.
So, let's see here. One word would be incredible.
Love it.
I love
Love it.
my Eagles.
More nervous playing at USM or watching your kids compete?
Oh, no doubt. Watching my kids. And that's not even like a question about it.
Yep.
You know, and the thing is, tell my kids, though, I think I was nervous every game. But when you're not nervous, it's time to retire. It's time to give it up. You should be. Hey, it's not just nerves, it's being excited, right? You want to be out there playing. I was the same way in practice. I was nervous. I loved it. I was a practice player. Hey, get me out there. I just want to play ball.
Yep.
But watching my kids, I can't. I'm like, just in the outfield walking back and forth the whole time. I can't sit still.
Same. If you go out and get a pizza, what are the toppings going on that pizza?
Oh, so I do like a little bit of ham and pineapple. That sounds kind of different. But, well, ham and pineapple, you can't beat it.
Love that. Beer or wine?
Oh, beer, no doubt. My wife, she can have the wine, but I'll take the beer all day long.
Just a couple more, Art.
And a good whiskey drink, too. Give me an old-fashioned over beer.
Ooh, there it is. Hey, if you come back to Hattiesburg looking for an old-fashioned, might we steer you towards bourbon on front?
Hey, I haven't been there yet, And I have to give a plug because I go to Hattiesburg more often now. My sister and her husband are the proud owners of the Fleet Feet, right across from the campus.
Oh, yeah.
Right near my house. I live in Midtown,
they
right there.
opened that store last year and are just rocking and rolling. And so,
good.
That's
Yeah,
great.
and so I'm down there a lot now because they live down there.
Cool. I have one more, and Patrick has one more. Is there a certain show that you're streaming at the moment?
Man, I wish I could say I watch a lot of TV, but I don't.
3 kids at the ball field. I get it.
That's right.
Yep.
Like I'll be here until probably 9 o'clock tonight. So, and it's my wife has to be at work every morning at 6:30. She's a pharmacist at the University Hospital in Jackson, and so I have to be ready to go in the mornings early, get the kids dressed for school, and take them to school every morning. So I go to bed early at night. So I don't watch a lot of TV, unfortunately.
I understand. So you can only keep 3 apps on your phone, and they have to be downloaded apps. Everything else has to go. What 3 apps are you keeping?
Yeah. So number one, though, I'm a finance major, and so I'm always looking at the stock market. I spend a lot of time all day long looking at the stock market. So my apps, the stock market, definitely will be one of them. Let's see here. I guess it had to be maybe a Facebook. Look, hey, I got to keep up with the world, right, and see what's happening. So I don't do a lot of Instagram, but I do Facebook. I'm old school like that. And let's see here. Look what else we're looking at. I'm a avid hunter and fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now it's turkey season. So I have my Reveal app for my cameras. My camera's out everywhere. So trying to see if a turkey pops up. So I have to do that. So my deer hunting and turkey hunting cameras in the stock market and my Facebook probably.
Wow,
Perfect.
that's a combo right there.
That's great.
Tell me you're from Mississippi without telling me you're from Mississippi.
That's right. Exactly.
Art, man, that was so fun. We took you
That was
away from
great.
your kids' practice long enough. We're gonna jump back on it and see if I don't know. I ain't got any updates on the Ole Miss Southern Miss game right now, but
We have scored a couple runs, but
we've
we're still down.
scored a couple. Okay, well, karma, right? Get Art on the thing, and we score some runs. So
Yeah.
well, dude, thank you again so much. I mean, that was inspirational. It was fun. It was just cool catching up.
Oh yeah.
Just on your way out the door, is there anything else you'd like to tell the Golden Eagle faithful out there?
Hey, look, again, like I said earlier, proud to be a Golden Eagle and to the top.
To the top. All right, baby. Shut her down. We'll finish it out.
Y'all take
Thanks,
care.
Michael.
Bye.
See you, bud.
Man, that was awesome.
I mean, did that go better than you thought? I mean, like I thought I knew it was going to be good, but that was. I mean, I need some
Man.
whatever
I know,
vitamins
like,
my guy
needs
is
to
on or
come-
something.
He needs to come
Like,
speak to the team, man. Them
I
pimping
mean,
'em
like
up.
you should just go right down the road from Freedom Ridge or whatever you say it was at to Pearl and make that thing happen.
Yeah.
Good gosh, that was fantastic. I tell you what, you want to hit a 30-second and we'll come back and recap and shut her down tonight?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll be
Mm-hmm.
right back.
And we're back.
We are
again,
back.
Special thanks to the great Michael Artman right there.
Yeah,
and
man.
that was just so fun catching up. And that was,
Stud.
and we need to do that more often. A lot of these guys. Well, so let's recap last week, Pilo, and we'll fly through this since we went a little bit long there. But baseball currently sitting at 25-11, 8-7 in the league. We had UNO in town for a midweek and then a series over in Lafayette. The UNO game, 1-3-2, walk off by Bull in the bottom of the ninth. We got some really good footage of that and got some good traction on social. Starting to hit the ball just a little bit, 10 hits. Colby Allen showed out with 3 innings. Smitty and Bull both had 2 hits each, and of course Bull with that game winner. So that was awesome. Felt like maybe we saw some fight and we had some momentum going into Lafayette. And we, at Lafayette, we know we had our chances at winning the series on Sunday, but dropped the total series to the Cajuns. It was, a little bit disappointing, I think. Started off great in game 1. Felt good for a while in game 3, and just, had a bunch of hits, but just came up short in the end. Lose the series 2-1. So, Patrick, I'll take game 1 here. Won that game 8-1, and all was right with the world. Right, we won the midweek on a walk off. Felt it, had some momentum, and then Graydon showed out. He looked sharp. Some of our better hitters started hitting. Russo goes deep. Gillespie got loose at the dish, so that was cool, and a great dominant performance on a Friday night. So hitting wise, we mentioned Gillespie 3 for 4 with the double. Stock went 2 for 2. He walked again, 2 RBIs and a homer. Russo hit a homer. Only had 7 hits, but out hit ULL 7-5, so that was nice. And on the pitching side, these two guys, this is kind of, I think, what we expected when we finally moved Colby out of that role was to see a lot of this, where you go Harris 6 1/3, 1 run, 1 walk, 10 Ks, and then Colby finishes it out 2 2/3, 1 hit, 0 runs, 0 walks, 5 Ks. That's about as dominant of a performance as you can have on the mound. 15 total strikeouts to a good ULL team, so we won that game, and it was on to game 2. And you can take this one away.
Thank you for that. Friday feels like we had, kind of figured it out. Saturday feels a little different, and as does Sunday, but lost this one 8-4. Got out hit 10-5. Andrew Herman, a strike throwing spot up lefty, gave us fits. Shocker if you know the Eags. Gillespie got us on the board early with a 2-run shot, and then that was it until Morrison did the same in the 9th. Nobody had multiple hits. Sonny started, looked like a little league line. He goes 4 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, no earned, 2 walks, 6 Ks. Cam Clark gives up his first damage of the season. He goes 2 innings, gives up 3 runs. Causey, Farr, Pratt all through. Farr and Pratt look good at the end. Herman goes the distance for the Cajuns. He has 9 Ks and gives up 4 earned.
Leads the country in complete games, I think. So he does this quite often. So we're sitting there 1-1. Game 3 rolls around. Lost the rubber match 6-5. It was a bummer. If we'd have won it, I think I'd feel totally different right now. Even if it was just 65 the other way, just 1 run difference, right?
Yeah.
Lafayette with 3 in the second. USM responds with 3 in the third. Lafayette gets 1 bottom 3. Both teams score a run in the 4th, and they split runs in the 5th and the 6th. But we walked a ton of batters. Did get a bunch of hits, but just didn't get it like timely hits, right? The timely hits are kind of just escaping us at the moment. Smitty had another good week, 3 for 4. In this game, 3 runs. He hit another homer. Jerb, 3 for 5 with a double. Morrison hit a double. Crab started. We got to figure out that third starter at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going back to Colby, because if you think about it, I think we all like Colby better in the pen, but man, has something changed since we did that? Can we? Is it that simple to go back to pointing to that? Probably not. And I like Colby in whichever way we want to use him. It makes sense to, if you have an opportunity to use him more than just one day, well, let's do that. But man, something hasn't worked, right? So anyway, Crab didn't have it. Sibley, Ock, English, Army, and Colby all came in. And I guess we held it together, kind of. Colby and Army looked fine. Colby was nails, actually. 2 innings, 0 runs, 0 walks, and 1 K. So that's what? What did he throw in the first game? 3 innings or something?
Yeah, 5 Ks.
2 2/3 in the first game, and then he comes in this game and goes 2 innings. So yeah, that's good, and it almost worked, I guess. So maybe I just answered my own question. It almost worked. We almost got 2 of the wins. But isn't it just late in the season to be still figuring things out a little bit? Wouldn't you say?
Like
that's fair, And the last several seasons, at least 3 seasons, I think at some point it's gone through our heads where we're like, this is the year that we're just going to underperform a little bit. And then something happens and we figure it out. Some would say we figured it out early in the season this year and then, have unfigured it out, I guess, at this point. It remains to be seen. Moving into this weekend, we need to do a little better. And no matter what baseball has looked like over the last month, we still have time to just get right and get hot and make a run, right? So I think we all know that we have that in us. Up next, of course, the Ole Miss game is tonight. Pilo, do you have an update on that score?
Yeah, I did say that we scored a couple runs, but we also gave up some. So right now we're sitting at 10-3 Rebels in the top of 8. we do have a runner on with no outs, and we left 2 on in that last inning. Kind of had a little bit of momentum scoring. So yeah, we're gonna have to 6 outs left. We're gonna have to make some damage here in the late innings, but
That would be nice. Every win that we can get at this point, I don't care if we're playing Oak Grove High School or whatever, we need W's to start to stack up, specifically in league play, but just anywhere, right? If we're going to make a push at that 40 again. So,
yeah,
and not only the 40, a chance to host. It looked like a lock. Then it looked like we're going to get there. Now it's like, I don't know, dude. That's just kind of how I went through it mentally myself.
Yeah.
Texas State is not going to be easy. They're 24-12, 9-6 in the league, 18-6 at home, just 3-6 away. They also had some neutral site games. So just I highlighted a few of their baseball games so far this season and the results. They lost 14-4 to Baylor. Remember, we played Baylor way back. It seems like 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
They did beat Gonzaga 2 of 3. They got swept by Monroe. And listen to these scores. They got swept 12-6, 8-5, 16-5.
Wow.
And then they swept Louisiana Lafayette convincingly, 4-1, 11-4, 16-6. Okay. They swept Georgia State. They beat Texas A&M. They lost 2 of 3 to Troy last weekend, and now they're coming to they're coming to the Pete this weekend. They had 2, and this is where I started to get a little worried because it's going to be fantastic weather this weekend, and the wind usually blows out at the Pete when there's fantastic weather. They're hitting 295 as a team with 71 jacks so far. That's a lot of homers. I feel like we've hit a decent amount, right? And we have 30 less. So that's a ton of home runs. They have 4 guys with 10 plus home runs already. So Salas has 10, Park has 12, Stewart has 12, and Cotton has 11. They do have a 5.71 team ERA, but it looks like outside of Friday, which maybe I just jinxed that too. Outside of Friday, this might be a team that you're going to have to out-hit, which is a little frightening for me with Southern Miss right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see what Oz does with that rotation. I know we've shooken it up a lot here lately. So, maybe we do a little bit more shaking, moving that direction. Get us update on the Sun Belt standings, if you would, kind sir.
Yeah, Coastal still in the driver's seat. They are 13-2 in the conference. They are followed up by Texas State, sitting at 9-6. Then you have Southern Miss, South Al, and Monroe, and Troy, and Marshall, all at 8-7. So quite a stack there. Arkansas State, App State, Georgia State are all 7-8, and then you have Louisiana and James Madison at 6-9, and Old Dominion and Georgia Southern at 5-10. So pretty stacked up there, really, from the top. What's that one? 10 teams. I mean, there's not that many games between. Well, outside of Coastal, there's not really that many games between 2nd and 10th.
Yeah. Coastal, if they were, they've got like if this is the Masters thing, they have like a 17 shot lead going into Sunday, So it's not impossible, but highly improbable.
Rory did give that lead up by the time he got to the back nine.
A little bit for sure. Hit me with some player of the week music, and we will get to our player of the week segment of the show. The To the Top Talk Players of the Week segment is, of course, brought to you by Bourbon on Front, located at 206 Front Street in downtown Hattiesburg. Steak, seafood, cocktails, and the only rooftop patio in downtown. Open every day but Monday. Call 601-336-7097 for reservations, private events, and catering, or visit them on the web at bourbon-on-front.com. Bourbon on Front. Go check them out today. I don't know if you've updated the graphic since last time.
So
you went.
Remind me. So I went Gilly,
and I went Seth
Smith. Okay. All right. So let me get that up here. We'll share it on the screen so everybody can see, and then we will make our picks. Boom.
Very nice. Very nice. Lots of twos, lots of ones. We'll see if there's any separation moving forward. I believe I've gone first the last couple times, so I'm going to let you go first this time.
All right. I am going to go Colby Allen.
Very nice. I mean, hard to argue with.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, you know, he's been critical in those moments, and as of late, the bullpen has seemed to struggle a little more, but he's kind of been the constant. And so, I mean, I don't think we are in some of the games without him, and I think he's been pretty elite since he's moved back, and so I'm going to give it to a pitcher. That's where we are right now.
That was a very good pick, and I could totally see why you went that direction. So currently Colby has a lead of 1, right?
Yep.
Well, he's tied. I just tied it up with this guy because I gave it to Graydon Harris. I mean, just absolutely dominant on Friday. Yep. Another 10+ K night. That's becoming a common occurrence. He set the tone. Then just kind of watched it evaporate after that, really. But without him and Colby to that point, who knows, right?
Yeah.
He did what a Friday night guy is supposed to do on a good baseball team. And Colby did help out and did his best. So I like the fact that we went different there. And both very justified.
I wasn't really sure, honestly, where you were going to go there, but I like it.
I mean, it's tough for Graydon to win these a lot of times. Like when somebody has like 3 games, like last week, where Smith got 8 hits on the weekend, right? And you just have one chance as a starter. But when you're that damn dominant, man, it's just you deserve something. So there it is. And so that was, of course, the To The Top Talk Player of the Week segment brought to you by our good friends over at Bourbon on Front. Head downtown, get you an old fashioned, like Artman said. And so just be sure to check them out. There it is. Harrison Colby leading the charge. Starting to separate. Looks like the conference standings right there.
Tell me we're struggling offensively when we have the 2 pitchers in the front. But here we are.
No doubt. Baseball rankings. We've had some serious shakeups here. You want to get us caught up on how that all went down?
Yeah, I mean, as you can imagine, not winning a series on the road can hurt you. And here we are. So D1 in the NCAA has us from number 10 down to number 22. On 3, couldn't find it. So nope. Sorry. Rob's rankings dropped us as well, as Rob does. He doesn't play favorites. He keeps it where he is. So we went from 7 down to 17. The mid-major rankings, we are down to number 4 in that, where we're at 2. Baseball America, we are at 20 now from 12. Perfect Game has us at unranked, which we were at 15. So we fall out of that ranking, shocker. NCBWA, we are at number 17. Coaches Poll USA Today at number 20, down from 13. And the RPI is sitting at number 14. So up a couple spots, actually.
So RPI is still hanging in there. I mean, for whatever that's worth. I think that's the furthest thing from anybody's mind. We're like, we have to get right. But at least the RBI is still there, so as far as, postseason consideration goes. Sure. Softball, I haven't looked at any softball rankings, but I mean, surely we have to be sniffing it at some point. So
softball, I think we're doing 20... some mid-major rankings for sure. I know we're climbing up that pretty quickly. I will have that pulled up soon.
Sure.
But go ahead.
Softball record 29-17, 10-5 in the league. Just all smiles over at the Blade lately. Still hanging in there for that Sun Belt Conference title race. And keep winning series and doing so in very different ways. So this past week, Georgia Southern was at the Blade. We took 2 out of 3. Listen to this. 3 very low scoring games. And when I say low scoring, there were 7 total runs scored between both teams over the weekend. 7 runs scored.
Wow.
And it's not like we strike out a lot of people either, right? So that is some quick innings probably. Game 1, we won that 1-0. Start things off right. Neely McManus delivers the only run, and it came in dramatic fashion. So it was a walk-off in the bottom of the seventh, a one-hopper, driving in pinch runner Jaden Roush. Very exciting. Jolie Hayes had 2 hits. Kayla Giardina improves to 13-6 on the season with a complete game 5 hit shutout. And that leads us to game 2, where we lost that one 2-1. Like we said, low scoring games. No runs scored for either team after the third inning. Hannah Christian did have 2 hits. Madeline Graham takes the loss, but I mean, this is a pretty tough loss. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 Ks. It's doing your job most of the time. Then game 3 won that one 2-1. So 1-0, 2-1, 2-1.
Wow.
Giardina goes the distance again. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 0 runs earned, 0 walks, and just 1 strikeout. She's now 14-6 on the season. Madison Johnson and Chloe Miller had 2 hits apiece. Gordon Sivley knocked down a run with a triple. So that is very good for the ladies. And I do not have the Sunbelt standings pulled up right here, Pilo. Can you get those standings pulled up real quick and we can update where we are with the softball program?
So, looking at the softball top 25, softball America, I think we have a little bit longer till we start getting into that. I mean, you got a team like Southeastern Louisiana that is 37-9, sitting at number 23. So there's some teams in there that are 40-5, 40-3, 40-4, 36-6. So there's some pretty good teams, and we're not far out. I mean, you have Kansas at 24. They're 29-12. So, but in the mid-major rankings, we are number 18. So we have climbed up to number 18 for that.
Okay, great. And I did actually find the standings right there. I posted them. If you can, yeah.
Let me flip over there. Okay, let's see. So Marshall is sitting atop the leaderboard at 13-2. In conference, ULM is 11-4, and then you have Southern Miss and South Al both sitting at 10-5. So we're right there in the top 3. Texas State 9-6, James Madison 7-8, Coastal 6-9, along with Georgia Southern. Troy and Louisiana are both 5-10. Man, it's crazy to see Louisiana down there. What happened? And App State and Georgia State sitting at 4-11. So yeah, I mean, there's starting to be some really some separation there between the top kind of 4 teams and top 5 and everybody else. So
up next for the ladies are at Texas State, so over in San Marcos, this Friday at 6, Saturday at 2, and Sunday it is a noon start. We would like to thank our title sponsor once again, and remind you that Yingling Flight is available in 12-ounce slim cans and screw top 16-ounce pints at most retailers. Buy yourself some Yingling Flight today. We do have 3 home games at the Pete. You know, it has a chance to taste really good. Either way, I'm going to have it. But it's either going to be really good tasting or just like, damn it. I hope it's the former there. But yeah, go pick up some Yingling Flight today. Clover Leaf Mall tweet of the week brought to you by Katie Bailey with Dunbar Real Estate. Any house, anywhere, anytime. Call today, 601-408-9980. We decided to go with former Golden Eagle player Billy Butler.
yeah,
And so he tweeted out on April the 12th, so that's 2 days ago. He said, because there's been a lot of chatter lately, and it's totally understandable. The frustration or is disappointment the right? Just, like we've been so good for so long. It's Southern Miss kind of needs something to hang our hats on, I think, as a fan base. That's always been baseball. And baseball just hadn't been living up to it totally lately, right? So some of that is understandable. The way in which people lash out, I think, is not. Is that fair?
yeah.
So what Billy said was, and he was responding to a tweet. So he quote tweeted the right field roost, who said, through the first 36 games of the season in 2024, we're 22-14. 2025, we're 24-12. 2026, we're 25-11. That really adds some perspective.
Ahead of the pace.
Yeah. And so what Billy said, quote tweeting that, is, we are spoiled as a fan base. We need to play better for sure. but remember how lucky you all are to enjoy the highs and lows of this program. Big Roos and Colby are handling it internally as we all cry on Twitter. It's not all on the coaches. I love Oz getting tossed. So he said it too. So and so did I. And that tells you how bad that zone was that Oz did that. I didn't do a non-tweet of the week this week because there's just too many of them. I was like, I don't even. There's just it's a tie for everybody that tweeted something like that. So that is it in that regard. We would like to, as we always do. And I think we're going to have an interview next week with a collective athlete. I'm not going to tease it yet because I haven't set it up yet, but I did get the ball rolling.
Nice.
But To the Top Collective, its mission is to bring Southern Miss to the top and is the official name, image, and likeness partnership that works to improve the lives of student athletes, alumni, and supporters at the University of Southern Mississippi. You can join today for as little as $17 per month and enjoy benefits like tailgate passes, member-only events, player meet and greets, open practices, and more. And they have some cool merchandise as well, if that's more your jam. So go ahead and click over there. It's a neat website that Peter's got, and it's really easy to navigate, even for people like me. So you can go over there and just check that out. And if you need any help, just reach out to us. One more time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're still gaining traction, man. We're like in quicksand, but we're getting out.
Yeah.
It's slow moving. Just if you know somebody, just say, hey man, do you have like 1.5 seconds? Can you go hit this button real quick? I know some guys that do a channel that they want to, anyway. Other sports news before we check out. USM softball unveiled two jerseys that are now retired. Courtney Blades Rogers and Amy Berman. Of course, we had Courtney on earlier this season. She was a hoot. She was kind of like Artman was, I think. That was two very similar, bubbly, very positive type interview people. Amy played shortstop in 1999 and 2000. She's first team All-American and had a career batting average of .417. Southern Miss Hall of Famer in the Legends Club. And then Courtney, of course, was the outstanding pitcher that threw like every single game. 151 wins, 1,773 strikeouts, Honda National Player of the Year, threw that perfect game against Arizona in the College World Series, Team USA, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? So that was very nice for both of them to be recognized out at
The
the Blade. There we go.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Little slow. I'm with you.
And Pilo, that's all I had outside of do you have an update on men's golf? I know that the guys had finished 36 holes up in North Mississippi at the Mossy Oak, and I want to say they made a move today.
Yeah, so we ended up with an even par round as a team today. That moved us up 6 spots of the leaderboard. So we finished in the 8th position out of 19 teams, and so really climbed up the leaderboard. Had a little rough in the first round, but got it together a little bit more in the second round, and then really improved for that third round. Ole Miss, and who's ranked number 15 in the country, they and Mississippi State ended up tying. I don't know if there was a playoff, but it looks like State shot 9 under in round 3 to tie. Crazy.
Wow.
And then you have Vanderbilt, who is the number 10 team in the country. They took 3rd. Alabama, number 17 in the country, took 4th. Cincinnati, Troy, South Al, we were all right there, and then Southern Miss. So ahead of New Mexico State, Coastal, Memphis, Kansas State, North Texas, Rice, UTEP, Middle Tennessee, Jack, Sam Houston, and Monroe. So really good tournament there. Lots of really good teams and great finish.
Yeah, sounds like we kind of held our own. I maybe started off a little slow and then got it together.
Yeah,
that's fair to say, I think.
Yep.
Shout outs. This is this is a segment where and then we need to go hit up the Art of Rue, I think. But shout outs is how we end every show, and then this shout out segment now is brought to you by Art of Rue. Art of Rue is a locally owned and operated restaurant in Hattiesburg serving po' boys, gumbo, red beans, seafood plates, and more. They are located at 208 North 38th Avenue and can be found on the web at art-of-rue.com. Art of Rue. It is Cajun comfort food.
Yep.
I'm sure
I
you
had
have.
it for lunch on Monday and it was popping. So I think the word is starting to get out. Kyle is a big time supporter of Southern Miss. If you like people that support the Eagles, he is that. I think he feeds the baseball team.
And you
every
get that
week.
Eagle Club discount too.
Eagle Club
the drink. You get the drink.
You get the drink for
Right.
free if you have an Eagle Club. So make sure you tell them when you go. And man, if you haven't been in a little while, they have lots of new stuff on the menu. Go check it out. So love those guys.
For sure. Well, what are your shout outs?
For me, I'm going to give a shout out to Jared Carlson. I'm sure if you're around the Hattiesburg area, have heard his name before. We go to church with him at Temple. He is involved with First Priority, who is getting their big event and auction is this week, golf tournament on Thursday. And then their speaker for this year is Phillip Rivers of the San Diego Chargers. He will be speaking on Thursday at Main Street Baptist Church, I believe, at 6:30. So I think there's still some tickets available if you want to go check that out. I'm going to go. It's going to be a great event. So shout out to him for inviting me to play in the golf tournament, and appreciate that. Saw him this morning at Grin, and so excited to get to play in that and go see him speak. See Phillip Rivers, which will be fun. He'll talk about life in the NFL. You know, he got caught up this year out of retirement and played a couple of games for the Colts, and he also
He's
has 10 kids.
coaching in Alabama somewhere, right?
Yeah, high school.
Yeah, high school coach.
10 kids. You know, what a life.
Yes.
Imagine 10 kids. I wanted to give a shout out.
To go back to the. Imagine bring that up tomorrow. Like I get it, man. You know, things are expensive.
You had to go back. Those kids are expensive. Shout out to Grant and Nitro and the crew over at Grateful Soul. Had lunch downtown today for Fried Chicken Tuesday. It was awesome. Another place that was popping and doing very well. It was so good. So out on Hub City Eats, if you wanted to see what I had, it is out there. Grant hooked me up with the dessert, and it was 12 out of 10. So shout out to them. Can never go wrong with Fried Chicken Tuesday at Grateful Soul. And I want to give another shout out to a good buddy of mine, Thomas Gray. He is invited me to play this past weekend. I usually do try to get out and play golf on Saturday, because usually Sunday I'm like glued to the TV of the Masters. So Saturday I do try to get out and go play a little bit. So went out in Timberton. We played. Unfortunately, got to get those greens in better shape, man. They have lost a little bit. I knew they had came back a little bit, but we're in that growth season, I think, and so a little bumpy. But hopefully, I know that I've been seeing on Facebook that they're investing back in and getting some new sod and stuff. So hopefully they get it figured out. But
the rest of it's always great, which is exactly opposite. So I know you're still doing your thing, but I went and played Shadow Ridge, and dude, I want some of my $76 back.
Yeah.
First of all, $76 for me and Jack to go play. I got nothing wrong with people that like making their money and all that, whatever. But like, I just thought that was an enormous amount of money to play 9 holes, right? And you could hit a 4-iron, 265 yards because of the dryness and just the rocks and dirt filled fairways. Greens are in fantastic shape though.
Yeah.
So absolutely. So kind of opposite.
If we could combine the two somehow. You need to. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I remember when it was like $40. What happened? I guess the golf boom.
I told the guy, I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "We're just playing 9 holes." I thought you said $50. That's what he said on the phone. I was like, he said, "Well, you still got to pay a greens fee." I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, anyway. Sorry to try to end the episode on that note, man. That was like, I was like, that is just
no. I went. It's going to
steer me towards Timberton a lot more. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I went there to play 9 holes as well. I was a little shocked. So
yeah, is that it?
That's it.
I would like to give a shout out to William Burke and his lovely wife, Marlena. They're moving to Hattiesburg and using my wife as a realtor. We really appreciate that too.
Yeah,
And so, but also, William is now the new head girls basketball coach at Sacred Heart.
I did see that. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
very,
awesome.
yeah, very cool. Dusty Haley, wanted to give him a shout out. So he is the guy that put us in touch with Michael Artman. I don't have Artman's number, and so Dusty made that happen. Thank you very much, Dusty Haley. Of course, very one of Golden Eagle great, still in the top 10, I think, for all time home runs. It's not a miss.
Awesome.
And then last shout out, my son Jack. I never do this, right? But dude played great his best tournament he's ever had. He goes 5 for 5. He had 2 walks, no errors made in the field, 6 runs scored. Came in relief with 2 runners on, runners on second and third, and we really needed some outs. He got the first guy to pop out, struck out the next guy. We won that game. So anyway,
Wow.
so
Well done, Jack.
and then Jack went 2 for 2 last night in rec ball, so he's 7 for his last 7. So I have just jinxed him beyond belief. He's about to not get a hit.
The commentator
Yeah.
curse. Here we go.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely my fault. So we can go back to this episode and really pinpoint where the struggle began, because I'm sure that I just did that to him. Anyway,
Yep.
this episode was brought to you by the premium light beer Yingling Flight, established in 2020 by the oldest brewery in America. It is crisp, it is clean, it is refreshing. It has 95 calories, only 2.6 grams of carbs. Pick yourself up some Yingling Flight today, just in time for the beautiful weather that we're going to have at the Pete. And that is it. Thanks for listening in today, whatever day you might have listened, whichever platform you chose to listen in on. Remember, you can follow me at Pumper J. Bailey and Patrick at P. Lowry. Follow us on all the social at To The Top Talk. And don't forget about the mailbag, to the top talk at gmail.com. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell somebody to the top today. And as always, Southern Miss
To the top.
Talk. Oh, yeah. Oh, I should have got my hat, too.
I could
Get out of the
play
glass.
Hey.
Alabama.
USC
See ya.
or Notre Dame. You have lots of things to offer, but Southern Mississippi put you all to shame. I was born here in Hattiesburg, never ventured far away. When it comes to playing football, here in Eagle Heaven is where I'm gonna stay. I could play for North Carolina, Ohio State, or LSU. You play a good game of football, but Southern Mississippi is a whole lot better than you. When the football season is over and done, the fans here in Hattiesburg will be proud of what we've done. I could play for the Georgia Bulldogs, Florida State, or Tennessee, but I chose Southern Mississippi, and right here at home is where I'll always be. I could play for Alabama, USC, or Notre Dame. You have lots of things to offer, but Southern Mississippi put you all to shame. I could play for North Carolina, Ohio State, or LSU. You play a good game of football, but Southern Mississippi is a whole lot better than you. When the football season is over and done, all your teams with famous names will see we're number one. Ask Mississippi State. Ask Mississippi State.